What are physical assets in the FM industry? Generally, you'll get things like doors, windows, and things added to the lists, but there's not a lot of maintenance on them, because when you change them, you change all of them, or you'll change a floor of them. You're not looking at individual assets. So predominantly, the physical assets concentrate on things that have general maintenance, statutory maintenance, mandatory maintenance, or could be business critical. Because, for example, a reception desk in the front of office may not have any lighting or anything on it, but may still go down as business critical because of it being front of house. So that may actually sit on your asset list, but really it doesn't need to be there because you're not actually maintaining it. It's a reactive task. So your assets should be anything that requires general maintenance, statutory maintenance, mandatory maintenance, or is business critical. Because when you start going outside of that, the list becomes excessive. You start ending up with too many things on there that physically don't need to be there, but also if you've got all the additional questions, shall we say, that relate to it, what condition is it, how old is it, etc., etc., you could have as many as 21 questions or more asking things about a physical object that doesn't actually need to be on the list at all. This is why I recommend just sticking to things that need maintenance, statutory, mandatory, and business critical. Beyond that, you don't really need them on there. You don't need your windows on there. You don't need your doors on there unless they're fire doors. Fire doors are starting to become something that's getting periodic maintenance done on it. They're going to be looking at eventually getting a tick box exercise where every door is inspected. As such, that will become statutory. So those sort of things, yes, but your front doors on the reception, unless they've got automated closers and openers, do they need to be on the asset list? The answer is no, because you're only going to call somebody in when there's a problem with it, and that's a reactive task. But if it's got motors, the automated motors, etc., it's got maintenance, because you're going to have the guys out at least every 6 months, if not more regular than that, depending how reliable they are. So those are the key elements you're looking for when you're looking at generating an asset list, is do you actually do any maintenance on it? For example, I've had it before where somebody's added mirrors. Now, the way I would do mirrors myself is I would look at the number of mirrors that broke in that operation, because this was accommodation blocks, and I think there was about 18,000 accommodation blocks. Each one of them had a mirror. So you're looking at 18,000 mirrors roughly, but are you going to maintain them? The answer is no. Are you going to change them if they broke? The answer is yes. So if you calculated how many mirrors broke over the last year and the year before, you would take an average. So for example, say there was 20 mirrors broke, just budget for replacement of 20 mirrors and put that to one side, because you're going to expect 20 mirrors to be broken. But there's no maintenance. It's not a maintenance task. The mirrors themselves don't need to be on the asset list. There just needs to be a budget allocated for the expectation of those mirrors being broken. It's as simple as that. You do not want them in the asset list, because once you're in the system, this system's got to be kept up to date, and the more what I would call useless information or misinformation that's in there, the slower the maintenance is, and the whole asset list becomes bloated with information that you don't need when you need to prioritize on the information you do.